From the Universal Tarot. 5. The Hierophant. A priest in sumptuous robes sits on a high throne between two stone pillars. His title, Hierophant, is from the Greek hieros, sacred, and phanein, show. The Hierophant is the one who shows how to live a holy life, according to the tenets of his religion. In ancient Greece, the Hierophant was the one who revealed the final mystery to the devotees who took part in the Eleusinian mysteries. In the Tarot, this card is also called the Pope, and his symbols are papal, though their meaning isn't limited to Roman Catholicism. The Hierophant wears the papal crown, or tiara, with its three parts, and in his left hand he holds a three-barred papal cross. There are several theories about the symbolism of these threes: the Holy Trinity, body, mind, spirit, heaven, earth, hell, and so on. The crossed keys symbolize knowledge that is locked away and only shared with true seekers. The kneeling monks are dressed in robes that bear the red roses and white lilies we last saw surrounding the magician, and they mean the same thing. Passion and purity are vital to a spiritual calling. The monks bend their heads in obedience to the Hierophant, but his bare feet are symbolic of his own humility on the path of faith. Universal message. A gifted spiritual teacher can help you define your path, your faith. Remember that authentic sacred service is always humble. From the Initiatory Tarot of the Golden Dawn. The Hierophant. The fifth key. The 16th path. The magical title of this card is Magus of the Eternal Gods. The path of the Hierophant runs between Chesed, mercy, and Chokmah, wisdom. It is the wisdom and fountain of mercy, the sphere of the zodiac acting through Taurus upon Jupiter. This is a very masculine path, the uppermost path on the pillar of mercy. The Hierophant is an important link between the higher self, the ethical triangle, and the spiritual self, the supernal triad. It is a primary function of the Hierophant to tie together the great above to that which is below. Thus the Hebrew letter assigned to it is Vav, or nail, an object which binds things together. Another aspect of the card has to do with teaching. In the Golden Dawn, the Hierophant is the expounder of the mysteries, who administers the oath to the candidate and confirms his/her initiation. His throne is in the eastern part of the temple, the place of the rising sun, and he represents Osiris, the slain and risen god of Egypt, except when he moves about the temple, when he takes on the god form of Aureus, Horus the Elder. The Hierophant is the great teacher. It is only through the Hierophant, who acts as a lightning rod for the divine light, that one can understand the link between sensory experience and inner illumination. The Hierophant's lesson is not understood by the use of the intellect. It has to be felt and perceived. The neophyte does not comprehend the initiation ceremony, yet he or she can certainly feel the energy being directed by the Hierophant. The Hierophant is enthroned upon a throne of bulls, the stable foundation of Taurus. The figure is shown wearing a triple tiara, a symbol of the supernals, for whose light the Hierophant acts as a living channel. Over his robe he wears a red tabard, which represents the flaming energy of the divine light. In one hand he holds the banner of the east, which indicates the rise of the light, and in the other hand he holds a crook, the traditional symbol of mercy and of Chesed. Interpretation in a Tarot reading. Divine wisdom, manifestation, explanation, teaching, differing from, though resembling in some aspects, the meaning of the magician, the hermit, and the lovers. Occult wisdom. From the Science Tarot. Professor. 5. The Hierophant. A professor is a source of higher knowledge, of history, of science, and of life experience. It is through our interactions with a teacher that we can develop our own talents and build on the achievements of those who have gone before us. Without this guidance, we might spend our lives repeating the efforts and mistakes of generations past. Yet a professor does more than present information. Teachers and authority figures may also train, challenge, and reshape us, for better or worse. At times, their training and reliance in traditional systems may make them resistant to their students' new methods or unusual talents. The Hierophant is the authority that introduces us to the world and to our own higher potential. Our instincts and perceptions may lead us to discover other sources of knowledge, which we must learn to balance with or against the valued lessons of our teachers. From the Tarot of Shadows, Arcana 5, Ahriman. The pentagram is an ancient symbol. It is found in archaeological records dating back to the 7th millennium BC. But we can suppose that the pentagram appeared much earlier. The number 5 and its associated characters have always been of special value to humans. The pentagram was a good sign in ancient times, protecting from all evil. Later on, Pythagoreans assigned it the value of power over the world. They believed the world consisted of 5 elements: fire, water, air, earth, and spirit. The pentagram corners are the realization of these elements. Earth is in the lower left corner, representing stability and physical endurance. Fire is in the lower right corner and represents courage and boldness. Water is in the upper right corner, representing emotions and intuition. Air is in the upper left corner, representing intelligence and the arts. Spirit is in the highest point, reflecting our spiritual self. When the figure of Adam Kadmon, the original man, is projected onto the pentagram, we see his head on the top, looking like the spirit that rules the elements. The inverted, reversed pentagram has traditionally been considered an occult image. When the first and the largest satanic organization, the Church of Satan, was officially registered 1966, it chose the image of Baphomet inscribed on the 5-pointed star as its sign. Based on LaVey, the founder of the above organization, the image depicts perfectly the concepts of the Church of Satan. In this form, the pentagram is a distortion of the human form. There is no high point, therefore there is no head. The lowest point represents the genitals. The inverted pentagram symbolizes a senseless, headless person with huge physical stimuli. Thus, such a pentagram represents the power of the human body as it responds to physical desires without right-minded rules or guidance. In the ancient Iranian religion founded by Zoroaster, Ahriman is a god of evil and injustice. He represents the spirit of falsehood, hatred, cold logic, sheer criticism, and fear. He promotes the illusion that matter is everything, the only available reality. All his activities are aimed at the destruction of the spiritual self that leads to spiritual death. Card meaning: charlatan, cynic, materialism, extremism, vengefulness, selfishness, dishonor, meanness, deceit, bad advice, sarcasm, rigid rationalism, fanaticism, racism, aggression, greed, highly intelligent, monetary fraud, concealment of income, misleading information, breaking with convention, putting up a mask, embezzlement, loss, damages, cold logic. From the Osho Zen Tarot, 5. No-thingness. Being in the gap can be disorienting and even scary. Nothing to hold on to, no sense of direction, not even a hint of what choices and possibilities might lie ahead. But it was just this state of pure potential that existed before the universe was created. All you can do now is to relax into this no-thingness. Fall into this silence between the words. Watch this gap between the outgoing and incoming breath, and treasure each empty moment of the experience. Something sacred is about to be born. Buddha has chosen one of the really very potential words, shunyata. The English word, the English equivalent, nothingness, is not such a beautiful word. That's why I would like to make it no-thingness. Because the nothing is not just nothing, it is all. It is vibrant with all possibilities. It is potential, absolute potential. It is unmanifest yet, but it contains all. In the beginning is nature, in the end is nature. So why in the middle do you make such a fuss? Why, in the middle, becoming so worried, so anxious, so ambitious, why create such despair? Nothingness to nothingness is the whole journey.